Well, welcome back. Now, in our special series on startups, here's a unique example, a startup village where ideas incubate, and their aim is to encourage 42 startups in 1,000 days of its existence. Let's go across to Sneha Koshi, who joins us for more on this. Sneha, that's a massive plan, but how do they plan to execute this?
Well, there's almost a 80 crore rupees budget with the Kerala government. It was the aim for the startup village in Kochi to actually incubate 42 startup villages, but they've crossed the 500 number. Chief Minister Oman Chandi has come ahead and said that students in colleges can go ahead, take a break in between. They will not lose a year. They can still go ahead, try their entrepreneurial skills with startups, come back, finish their course. They're not going to be lost. So a lot of benefits from the Kerala government, a lot of emphasis. Joining us right now is the Principal Secretary for IT, Mr. P.H. Kurian, sir. Tell us, how conducive is Kerala right now to attain this target?
Well, I believe for the last 3 years, we have really taken a strides in this initiative of startups. Now there's, all forces have joined together. Let's say the society, the student community.
And even the diverging political ideology?
Even political ideology. I think ideology is, there is the ideology neutral now. There is a great understanding in Kerala that the entrepreneurial surge is required for sustainable development of Kerala. And the youth power is not only for taking jobs outside the state, but they all need to create jobs here. Right. So instead of becoming a job seeker, the idea CM has been spreading that you become a job creator.
Right.
And that we also plan in a way that the people who have left, the good brains you have left, should come back and join this movement. So this is what Kerala government names as Garvapasi.
All right, Kerala government's Garvapasi, that is. But also, if I can ask you, how are we planning to give this a boost to students in colleges to have a sustainable startup? And the Chief Minister says you can take a break and it will not harm you.
No, so the whole move started with the announcement of CM on the September 12th, 2012 in the Emerging Kerala event of a student entrepreneurship policy, which has just made students to come out of their schools and experiment with entrepreneurial thing. That is more of innovation as well. So they were announced, the announcement was that they will get 4% grace marks if they actually work in an incubator, and then 20% of the attendance. That means they can get out a few days of the class and be in the incubator to try entrepreneurship, try innovation, try new technology.
Right. Well, that's a huge boost to the students. This is what we found in Ernakulam in one of the major startup villages.
Nothing short of a wow. With 100% revenue growth in 3 years, that is what one of the first startups incubated in Ernakulam Startup Village has achieved. Aptly titled Wow Maker, the startup is now ready to move out after a 3-year incubation, with elite clients like Microsoft and Google in their kitty.
With Startup Village, we are getting an access to these top executives, and they are able to see our work.
This startup village aimed to incubate 42 startups within 1,000 days of its existence. It surprised itself by incubating 533. What began with a focus on student startups is now open to all first-time launches. Based on private-public partnership model, for every 1 rupee granted by the government, the village invests 23 rupees.
Kerala Startup Village at this point is in a phase of hype. It will move to a lot of independence and integration. So this is in stark contrast to Bangalore, which is in a phase of expansion.
The village is not all about angel investors. For instance, Sector Cube, that deals with smart home appliances, raised finances through crowdfunding because of the risk they could take in a stable ecology.
Our goal was 50,000. We achieved it in 5 days. Then we went up to $120,000. We can show the companies the value of this product.
But despite a very fast emerging ecosystem well within the state, almost for all the startups, the next level remains still in Bangalore or major cities inside India or outside India after their incubation period. The next challenge for government. With camera person SP Babu, Sneha Koshi for NTTV.